the person that's going to, be the guy that's going to be shooting out for you. We obviously have our shooter. You have our old shooter. He's like, what was those old? Let me not even talk junk about Carson. I'm not going to do it today. I just want to know.
Do you, man? Do you? Go ahead.
I've done it for like 2 years, George. I got to get over it.
That's all good.
I want to know, has Carson thus far, because he has been putting up good numbers, and I'm not watching every single game of yours. I'm not watching the all 22, so I can't break it down, but the numbers look good for Carson right now. So in your opinion, and I've even seen you say on Twitter that you are a Carson fan, you're behind him.
I am.
Do you feel he's been a liability for this team or an asset thus far?
I think it's been an asset. So first and foremost, what's up to Rashad in the chat? Rashad, my boy from Panther Nation podcast. He put me on, Joe. Good dog. People. Yes, I love Rashad. He's good people. So what's up, Rashad? So, so going back to Wentz, I love the guy, man. So I know it's kind of like a hot take in Philadelphia circles, but he is one of the better quarterbacks we've had in a long time. And I think people neglect that. Like, Joe, I put in the work. I love his team. I follow it every single hour, every single day for years now. And I think he's probably the best quarterback we've had since Kirk Cousins, to be honest with you. I know that might be like, who cares about that? But Kirk Cousins puts up numbers and he can move the offense. Right now, look it up. Washington is the number one team in the NFL for explosive plays. We have the most 20-yard plays in the NFL, and that's as a result of Carson Wentz. Like he is as advertised. He can be inaccurate, where he basically will throw the ball high or maybe out of the reach of a wide receiver, or hold on to the ball like a second too long. But at the same time, he does offer that high upside flexibility to kind of take it to that next level. And I think that's kind of what we haven't had. That we've had Alex Smith was checked down Alex Smith. We have injured checked down Alex Smith. Yeah. We had Dwayne Haskins trying to figure himself out. We had Case Keenum. Taylor Heineke was kind of like a, up and coming, he was a backup number 2 quarterback. We actually have an athletic 6'5", 240 quarterback that throws the ball down the field. And this an indicative point of this was we're down 22-0 against the Detroit Lions. We come out in the third quarter. I think it might have been second or third down. We're on the ropes. Carson Wentz by sometimes, throws the ball 43 yards down the field. Jahan Dotson brings it down. We're already in scoring range. We scored 2 plays later on a 25-yard pass to Curtis Samuel. It was like 4-play touchdown, series that doesn't really happen for us. So it's 2 games, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. It's not awful, but the picks they come. That Jaguar game. I don't know if you guys. I'm sure you guys saw it in Philadelphia, but it was 2 picks back to back. We're like, oh crap, this is the Carson Wentz that we're hearing about. So I was scared about that, but it's starting to look pretty good. And if he can maintain this, I'm all in. And I don't know. I feel like Carson Wentz, he got a bad rap coming out of Indianapolis, and I love rooting for people that are underdogs. So I'm rooting for him, man. I'm all in on him.
Yeah, I said it online, and I'll say it again, man. If at the end of the day, when he comes to Philly, I'm going to give him a 5-minute golf clap, because I have nothing but respect for what he did for Philadelphia, what he brought to the city. He was a big part of our championship, and I would be a liar. I would be a straight up liar to sit here and say the man doesn't have talent. There's obvious talent there. But one thing he did say, and he did say this, coming out talking to, I think it was John Clark or somebody like that he felt he was a bad teammate in Philadelphia. He felt that there were some things he could have done better as a teammate, as a person, as a quarterback. So I want to ask you, going on your team, because this is an emotional game. Any way you want to paint it, there's going to be players on the Eagles side that are looking across at Carson and are going to either feel some type of way in a good way or in a bad way. And, I know Carson Wentz is probably going to feel the same type of way, but I want to know about your team. Does your team have his back? Is this going to be a type of game that you feel the team is just going to rally around him and try and win it for Carson Wentz?
I think they are. I think they really are. I think, the one thing that kind of changed with the dynamic with Carson Wentz is he got older, right? So when he was with you guys, he was right out of college, 22, 23. He was a young buck at the time. He was a rookie at the time. He was hitting the keys to a franchise, a big trade for you guys to become the leader of the team. Now he's kind of maligned. He's been on his 3rd team in 3 years. He's 30 years old. We have the 7th youngest team in the NFL. I don't know if you guys know that. So, he's brought it up a couple of times where he's like, I feel old. I walk in the locker room and I'm trying to relate to people, and it's they all trying to go to the club and party. I'm just trying to I have 2 kids. I just want to try to go home and cook. He actually said that during press conferences, and I know what he's done is he built relationship with his offensive line. Charles Leno, our left tackle, he's about the same age as Carson. They come over for barbecues. They have family get-togethers, and I think they do like Carson Wentz. He said all the right things this week. He hasn't played the emotional card. He hasn't seen it yet. We'll see how it transpires on Sunday. You never one pick and it starts spiraling. We know it's more than what we see, but like he's saying the right things and doing the right things. He's acting like it's every other game, but I think Washington's kind of lucky that the fact that we're playing at FedEx first. If we started off Jalen Hurts, Wentz in Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field, that would have been wild. I mean, it's gonna be. I think we have a Monday Night Football game or Sunday night. We have a primetime game with y'all at that game. That's gonna be wild. But I think he's gets to kind of dip his toes in the water now, so he should be okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and Eagles fans, we love to travel, so I'm sure that there'll be a lot of green in that state. Are you going to the game?
Hell yeah, season tickets. I'd definitely be at the game. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
Anybody that's watching this, if you're an Eagles fan, you see my guy George out there, buy him a drink from me. Let me know. I'll cash app you the money. I promise. This is one of those games that I feel like the Washington Commanders can definitely make a statement about who they are, and on the other side, the Eagles can make a statement about who they are. This is a big game in my opinion. I'm excited for it. So.
Touchdown, time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season head, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning